going to cry. I've got a face full of makeup. Anyway.
Is there a doctor in the house?
Now, you might have seen Prince Harry is back in the headlines today. He's lost the challenge over his right to automatic police protection when he visits the UK. Yes, you guys. Yesterday, the High Court ruled that the UK government will implement a system that assesses the threat to Harry on a case-by-case basis. Jo, what do you think about this decision?
Well, I'm torn because, I mean, you know, he doesn't want to be a working royal anymore, so if you're not doing the job anymore, how are you still allowed to have, like, the perks of the job? But then also, it's not his fault, you know, that he was born into that, you know, bloodline, that's his family. He can't help any of that. Yeah. But then, you know, so I'm kind of torn about it. I don't really know which way or the other, because it's not his fault. But then also, if you're not doing the job anymore, then how can you? And isn't he sort of covered anyway? If he's doing stuff with the royals, won't that just, like, cover him?
Yeah, I guess when he's with other royals who are protected by their security, but he's not going to be with them all the time. He wasn't with them when he was staying in a hotel, when he came to visit his father when he was first diagnosed with cancer. I mean, Prince Harry has ruled the decision irrational. Do you think it's irrational, Liv?
There's always something with this guy, isn't there? And I'm not in the, like, hating Harry and Meghan camp at all. Actually, quite opposite. But it does feel like it's very exhausting to be him because there's a lot of disputing. I do think, on the other hand, though, he is the son of our king. He didn't, you know, leave working royal position like a decade ago. It's only been a short period of time. So I think he's probably still, I would say, in my opinion, he's still within the caption space of he should be covered. His dad's our king, do you know what I mean? It's very close connected. It's not like he's some random cousin. But I do also understand the reason that, you know... Oh, no disrespect to the random royal cousins. I am very much a royalist. We love you all. But, yeah... What was that? But yeah, just give the boy some cover and he'll be better anyway.
Well, he's appealed it, Jude. A good idea or a bad idea?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like everyone has said, if you are the son of the king and when you step back into that land where your dad is the king and you can't get no protection, then, my gosh, I don't even know. For me, I feel that's quite, you know, it's quite a thing. And obviously he's going to be constantly appealing because we know he's had areas where there's been risks, not only to him, to his family and, you know, his wife. So as a man, as a husband, as a dad, isn't it your duty in all forms to try and bring in that protection when you're either stepping into this country or when your wife and your children are? I think he's doing what any standard amazing man, dad, husband would want to do for his family. I know people say it's a continuous thing, there's always something, but if these walls and stuff are constantly put up when Harry or Meghan are trying to dispute things, then they have to come back, and the repetition is what people are looking at. They're repeating, but actually they're not seeing that they're also probably dealing with the difficulty of, like, wow, I know I've left the roles, but I'm still now at risk.
It did get me thinking about those who don't like taking no for an answer. And Liv, you strike me as someone that doesn't like taking no for an answer. I don't know why.
I don't love it. Like, it's not like a hobby of mine. But with age, I think, comes a bit of perspective. I think when I was younger, I definitely used to say no just for the hell of it. And, you know, you're trying to make yourself feel important. So it was a very knee-jerk reaction when someone asked you or tell you to do something. You just go, no, not doing it. But that's what 3-year-olds do. Do you know what I mean? They say no to everything. And I think as you do mature, working on it, you realise that maybe sometimes you are wrong and some people do know more than you, and that's really good. And it's good to have that realisation. And I've actually... It's such a saying, isn't it? But I love sleeping on a no. Sometimes I'm very committed to, I'm not going to do this, or I don't think this is right, go to bed, wake up next day, and you have a different perspective, and you go, well, maybe actually it's a yes. Yeah. So I think it's something,
that emotion, sort of reacting to the emotion.
I mean, I've got no issue with not arguing, but sort of debating with somebody if they've told me no, especially if I think the answer is wrong. Because I do think I think informed debate, there's nothing wrong with that, and I think it's very healthy. And if you're constantly told no without any proper explanation or an explanation you agree with, then it is your right to sort of, you know, inquire more, find out more about it. You know, and there's a lot of work that I've ended up getting because I haven't taken no for an answer. And I don't see there's anything wrong with that, because when you fight for something you believe in, it can only be right.
I remember when I first met my husband, his mum sort of announcing to me quite proudly that he never takes no for an answer. And I remember thinking, well, he will when he meets me. I don't but James is like that. He won't, he'll say no, and then he'll keep going and keep going. And but if I want something, I am prepared to fight for it, and I will fight and fight. And even if people say no, 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 I'll keep fighting and fighting. But then there will be a certain point, if it's not happening, where I'll think, no, it's just not, it's not happening for a reason, right? Just take your respect and just move on. And I think inherently, deep down as well, I'll get to a certain point and then think, oh, I can't be bothered with this, I'm lazy.
Because it's tiring.
I think for me, it depends on what I'm fighting for, because I haven't got time to waste my energy. But, you know, if it depends, family, loved ones, close ones, and the principle of what I'm fighting for. Because you got to preserve some energy, and it's not everybody that needs to feel that they have that control over you. And you can then, you might get the no today, but you might get the yes in 5 years' time, and that's going to be a bigger win than when they first said no.